Like, I'm just so in love with the process.
It just tastes so good though.
I was not prepared. Like, it's good, but it's not good. So today is Monday. It's May 23rd. It's about 12:15 right now. Today is day 7 of 40 of trying to complete my second draft. I have a tentative deadline for my second draft. I'd love to finish it before I go back to work. And I start work on June 27th. So my deadline for the second draft of Ben is June 26th. Currently, I am still finishing chapter 10. I'm actually really close to finishing chapter 10. I feel like in the next writing session or the next 2 writing sessions, I'll definitely be able to finish chapter 10 completely. But it's still a long way from being good. But progress is being made, and I need to remember that this is only the second draft. This is, you know, like I did a 0 draft and now this is the second draft. And mainly what I'm doing is filling in a lot of holes and kind of getting a little bit clearer on things, but there's still a lot to figure out and sort out. And I'm still learning about these characters. I'm still figuring out how they think and how they would respond to something and kind of how they want to communicate, you know? So I'm still figuring out a lot about these characters, but it feels good because I do feel like I know them better than I did when I did the 0 draft. So it's feeling really good. So yeah, technically I'm still working on chapter 10, but I do have chapter 11 and chapter 12. I have copied and pasted in the correct order all of the scenes that I had from my 0 draft. So I have a lot written in those 2 chapters. Those 2 chapters are actually pretty chunky, especially chapter 12. So I've read through them a few times and I have made some notes for changes that I want to make. There's nothing like crazy big in terms of change, but like pretty significant details are changing. A lot of rewriting, a lot of taking away of things and adding of things needs to be happening in these next 2 chapters. So I have a lot of work to do, but we're going to continue to do it. And I love, like, I'm just so in love with the process. I'm so in love with the process. Definitely, as much as I do really just want this book to be done and I want to be able to share it and publish it and, you know, put it out into the world, I'm just really loving the process of it and learning about these characters and making this story good, you know? At least good in the sense that it's the story that I envision in my head. It might not be good. It just needs to be good for me, and I need to be satisfied that I've done the best possible job I could translating the story from in my head and my feelings onto paper, onto words on a page. So yeah, I'm just realizing how in love I am with the process lately, and I'm practicing a lot of gratitude. I'm really grateful to be able to do this. Like, I'm glad that I'm into writing. I can't imagine what my life would be like if I wasn't into writing. Like, I just feel like I'd have such a boring life. Anyway, all that being said, I will be getting to some Ben work today, but I also have so much. I've been really bad at keeping up with editing and vlogging, so I definitely have a lot of editing to do today, but I do want to do some Ben work and I do want to do some secret project work. But right now I am going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to get a coffee. I really shouldn't. I shouldn't. But I am going to get a Frappuccino because my mind has settled on that being something that I need to get, and now I need to get it because otherwise I'm just going to keep thinking about it and I'm not going to get any work done. So I'm going to go do that right now, and then I'll check in with you a little bit later. Okay, so it's a little bit later in the day. It's about 3-ish. It's just after 3. I ended up going for a drive. I haven't been on one of my drives in a while, definitely not since spring has sprung. So I decided to go for a drive after I went to get my Starbucks, and it was so good. It was so lovely. I can't even really explain the function of these drives and what they do for me, but I'm so glad that I went. Now, it did take a little bit of time from my day, you know, but it's okay. It's 3. I still have a lot of day left, and I'm gonna get as much work done as possible. And so when I went to get the Starbucks, it was actually so cool. I mean, I must have talked to this guy, like the guy who was at the window. I must have like talked to him before. So I pulled up, and it was him and then the girl who was like taking my order in the drive-thru. They were both there, and he like knew my name and then mentioned, he's like, oh, and you're a writer, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, how did you? I was like, what? We must have had a conversation. He must have recognized me. But I was like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, how'd you know that? And then the girl who was there, she's like, oh my God. She's like, oh my God, I love you. She's like, you're a writer. And they were just both so excited. They seemed so excited and so amazed that I was a writer. She's like, writers are amazing. Like the way that you guys just like make things up and create these worlds and do all these things. Like, that's amazing. The guy was like, oh, like the world's been so crappy lately. Like, we're so grateful to people like you. And I was I was not prepared. I was not prepared for that at all. And it just made me feel so good. Like, it made me feel so good. Even though very few people have actually, like, read my work, and definitely no one's really read Ben, I haven't really released anything into the world that's, like, significant. And when I do, maybe people won't appreciate me as a writer, but it was just so cute. It was so sweet. It was so, I was buzzing. Like, that put me in such a good mood. And just, like, really made me that much more excited to get this story written and out into the world so I can share it with people. It was just so damn nice. So yeah, needless to say, I'm excited to do some Ben work. But first, we're starting with about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of editing. Technically, you know, the YouTube video is a little bit more of a priority because it's due first. I'm also gonna watch a horror movie, so I'll edit for as long as the horror movie is, and then I'll do a bit of Ben work. Hi, so it's been a few days. Today is May 28th. I don't even remember the last time I vlogged. So I'm pretty sure we're on day 12 of 40 of trying to finish my second draft. Now in terms of updates, I don't have too many. I didn't write yesterday, and then there was 2 days in there that I also didn't write. I don't remember the last time I vlogged, but so far there's been like 3 or 4 0-word days. But that being said, I did manage to finish chapter 10. So we're done with chapter 10. We are on chapter 11. And chapter 11, I copied and pasted. So I do have my 0 draft version in there in the second draft. And these scenes I feel like are pretty good. It's going to be mainly just kind of adding a bit more of the good stuff and taking away stuff that I don't need, and then just kind of generally making it better. But for the most part, especially the first 2 scenes, they're pretty good. Like, I have a lot of words. I have a lot to work with from my 0 draft. The 3rd scene of this chapter is definitely really rough, and I have a lot of work to do for sure with that chapter. I'm gonna need to add a lot. And yeah. So tonight I have plans again. I'm gonna be going to a friend's house for a little social gathering around 8:30 or so. It's about 5:30 right now. So I'm gonna give myself the next 2.5 hours to just work on Ben. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now. I went to Starbucks and I got myself a drink and some food because I don't know why. I just have not been feeling cooking. I've definitely been feeling like I can't really focus. Like, I'm getting this weird feeling that I sometimes get where things are just happening and I'm not really holding on. Like, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but I've been feeling that a lot the last few days. But anyway, so I went to Starbucks and got, my mom's calling me. Hold on. Hello? Hi. What was I saying? So I don't remember what I said, but anyway, I'm gonna be working on Ben for the next little while. It's gonna be lovely. In case you're wondering, I got what did I get? Caramel Ribbon Crunch Frappuccino. And then I just got a turkey pesto provolone something or other. And we're gonna do some Ben work. So I would love to be able to finish the first 2 scenes of this chapter before I leave tonight. There's only 3 scenes in the chapter, so that would get me pretty close to the end. Like, this first scene for sure is a very short scene, so I feel like I can finish this really quickly. And then scene 2 is longer. It's about 1,685 words. It'll probably stay around that. I think I need to add a little bit more dialogue. Like, it seems like it's good, but it's not good, you know? Like, it's not right. Scene 3 I'll probably need to tackle on a different day. Like, I need to really come in fresh and ready to make this scene good. So one thing I did want to mention, even though I'm doing this whole 40 days to finish my second draft, because when I started it was 40 days from when I start work again on June 27th. So my deadline is June 26th. And that's lovely. However, there have been developments recently, and I very likely need to work about 2 weeks on my old show to wrap out before I start officially on my new show. So I could be starting work or be working as early as mid-June. So that's gonna put a little bit of a wrench in this whole trying to finish my second draft because I'll just have less time to write. However, I'm gonna try to make it work. I'm gonna do my best. I still very much want to finish this draft by the end of June because I would love to work on a different project entirely in July for July camp, which who knows what's gonna happen in July because I'm gonna be working. So we'll see how much writing I can get done in July. But that is my plan. I really, really want to finish this draft. I was already gonna be very forgiving if I didn't make it, but now that I have a bit more going on, I'm just gonna be even more forgiving. Okay, enough talking. I'm just stalling at this point. So I'm gonna eat really quick, read over this stuff, and then get to it. Okay, so it's almost 8. It's 7:56 right now. I need to start to get ready to leave for the evening. So the writing update is I managed to finish scene 1 of chapter 11. It's a pretty short scene. I think it's about just under 500 words right now. I think it started at 300 and something words. I ended up adding about 100 and something. And then I managed to get about a third of the way through scene 2 of chapter 11. And that puts me basically a third of the way through the entire chapter. I'm honestly not expecting to be adding too many words to these next 2 chapters just because I'm gonna be getting rid of a lot of words, I think. I just feel like it's gonna mostly even out. So yeah, day 12 of finishing my second draft. I do feel like I can finish chapter 11 in the next 2 or 3 sessions. Scene 3 is gonna be a bit longer, but I kind of have an idea. Like I do have an idea of what I need to add. It's very much lacking in description because I didn't quite know a lot of the information about specific details, so I just kind of So it definitely needs a lot of work, but I do have a sense of what I'm gonna add to it. The only thing is making sure that the dialogue is good, because I thought I was good at dialogue, but not really. I mean, I'm like okay in terms of like making things sound natural and like the way people speak, but I'm finding that kind of choosing the conversations that they have and like how those conversations come about. Like there are certain things that I want them to talk about that I know, and like making sure that those come up kind of organically throughout the story without it being too much like we are having this conversation to move the story along. That's I've been struggling with a little bit. And then also I feel like I'm not like I don't have enough of the dialogue, like the important things. And that's actually been fun to kind of add in as I'm going through this draft, and I feel like when I go through and do the third draft, it's gonna get, like the dialogue will get better, because I'll just know the story better, I'll know the characters better, how they respond and how, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah, dialogue is definitely a big thing that I'm working on in this second draft. Dialogue, and then mostly filling in the blanks from the 0 draft. It's all gonna get better. It's all gonna come together. It's gonna be great. Okay, so today is Tuesday. It's May 30th. I spent all of yesterday cleaning my apartment. I had to clean the rat cage, and that takes like I just did a whole bunch of cleaning. I showered. I feel good. And then I continued to do my bullet journal and like switch over my June calendar. I did all of that organizing and cleaning yesterday, and it felt really, really good. Now today I need to do a little bit of running around. I need to get groceries and some other errands, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna eat. I've been getting a lot of takeout recently, and I just like I need to cook things. So I'm gonna cook things. I'm only cooking today. So then when I get back, I'm gonna do a little bit of reading out on my balcony. I also did reading yesterday on my balcony. I felt really good. I'm reading The Marionettes by Kitty Wismer. So I'm gonna continue to do that today. I'll probably read another hour or so out on my balcony, and then I'm spending the bulk of the day working on Ben. My goal for today is to finish chapter 11, and then in June I am just working basically the second half of the book. So goals for today are do all of my errands and groceries, read on my balcony, finish chapter 11 of Ben, and I gotta do a lot of editing. I gotta start editing this vlog because I have no idea. I feel like I have a lot of footage, and I probably do. I more often than not have too much footage and not enough footage, so I'll have to deal with that. And yeah, that's it. That's what's going on. Here we go. Also, I just want to show you. So I cleaned the whole cage yesterday, my whole apartment, and look, already, just from one day, one night, one evening, this is how much mess these guys make. Yeah, I'm talking about you guys. I'm talking about you. You're messy. You're too messy. Okay, so I am about to get started on some Ben work. It's almost 4:30. Wow. I've been eating Milk Duds, like so many Milk Duds lately, and I can't stop eating them. But right now I'm going to do some Ben work. I really want to finish chapter 11. If I can finish chapter 11 in the next little bit, then I'll take a break and probably eat. I gotta go see my parents. Ooh, I need to do that soon, actually. I can't do that too late. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, it's about 4:30 right now. I'm gonna write till about 6, see how far I get. Hopefully, I feel like I can finish scene 2. Hopefully I can be further than that, but we'll see. At 6, I'll go see my parents, and I'll come back home and make some dinner. And then depending on where I am with Ben, I will either continue to work on Ben until I finish chapter... I'm sorry, I shouldn't have put that milk out of my mouth. It's so chewy. Chewy caramel. What was I saying?
It just tastes so good though.
But yeah, when I get back after I eat, depending on where I'm at with Ben, I need to finish chapter 11 today. That's the plan.
guess that's what I get for leaning into the best friend. Now I've got one more accent, two less hands here for holding. Ignored all of my reasons for running far from my feelings. Now I'm down on my knees and watching you as you're leaving. I hear you say goodbye, and I say I'm fine. But really if I'm honest with myself, I'm a mess, total fake, thinking I might need some help. Cause I never change, always getting in my own way. Oh, look at this mess I've made, look at this mess I've made. Oh, I'll take the blame for making.
Okay, so it is about, it's 8:10 right now. I went to go see my parents. I'm now making some dinner. I need to clean up some dishes that I still have from yesterday, so I'm going to do that now while I'm making my food. The update is I did manage to finish scene 2 of chapter 11. I'm feeling pretty good about it. It still needs some work, but it's better than it was, and now I just need the last scene of chapter 11. And even though I have about 1,300 words written in that scene, it's very underwritten for what it is. Like, there isn't enough of what I need, which is more dialogue and also just like better descriptions of things. A little bit of work. It's gonna take a little bit longer to finish than this last scene that I just worked on. So I'm gonna do all that and then I'll update you when I'm working on Ben. Okay, so it's almost 11 p.m. I'm working on Ben. I'm looking at scene 3 of chapter 11 and I'm looking at the time and just kind of assessing how I'm feeling and my level of sleepiness. I'm at like a 7.5 sleepiness right now, and it's only gonna get worse fast. So I don't know that I'm actually gonna be able to finish this scene. I'm gonna try to get through it as quickly as possible, at least like do a once over, and then finish it tomorrow. I had meant to spend a chunk of the evening video editing. That was, if you recall, a few minutes ago. That was my plan for the day, was to finish the chapter and then do some editing. But obviously I have yet to finish the chapter. But I'm gonna get as far as I can. I feel like I can definitely get this scene done tomorrow, and then I can get a good start on chapter 12. Chapter 12 is probably close to like 10,000 words. It's quite a lot of words. Oh my god, that's so many words. I also just realized, so I'm currently, oh wow, in the draft I'm at 65,000 words currently at chapter 11. My zero draft total was 74,000. And I still have 12 chapters and an epilogue to write. I mean, I know I've added a chapter so far in this draft, and one of the chapters was like super underwritten in the zero draft, so that's why there's more words now. I'm gonna need to do a lot of cutting, I'm sure. Anyway, let's just get started on scene 3 and see how far I can get. If I don't finish it, that's okay. I will finish it tomorrow, and we're gonna get a lot of work done in June, okay? Whether I finish this draft or not, I'm gonna get damn close. I'm gonna get really, really close. Okay, so I just got to the line. I don't know why I think it's so funny. It's so bad. Like, literally, this is the caliber of my zero drafts, okay? This is... Okay, so for a little bit of context, I don't want to give too much away, but I don't know, it could change. In this draft so far, there's a scene where they're on like a whale watching little tour thing. So my camera stopped filming because my card was full. So I've just offloaded everything. That's why you're probably in a slightly different position. I just spent so long laughing about the fact that I typed into Google, I meant to type parts of a ship. I couldn't remember what the front of the boat was called. Anyway, I wanted to Google parts of a ship, and I ended up typing parts of a shit. And I don't know why it's so fun. It's obviously so funny because I'm so tired. So now I do know the parts of a ship and the parts of a shit. So this is the sentence I've got here. Suddenly, so much closer than anyone was expecting, a parentheses type of whale broke through the water, spewing air and water through his air hole. And then in parentheses I put, oh my god, please look up how to actually say this. It's so good. So yeah, that's what I'm working with. I mean, you can imagine, I can't deal with this right now. I'm too tired. So we're gonna call it a night here, and I'm gonna go to bed. I feel good about finishing this scene tomorrow and starting on chapter 12. So Okay, so today's June 1st. It is Wednesday. It's about 4 o'clock right now. I'm gonna try to get through this really quick for a few reasons. My battery's dying, but also I'm feeling not so great today. So last night, I didn't end up finishing chapter 11, but that's okay. I'm gonna be finishing it today. I'm about to make lunch and then get into lunch/dinner. After I eat, I'm gonna get into some Ben writing for the day and just kind of spend, again, the rest of the evening working on Ben. I also need to, I really need to start editing. I need to edit today as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end of this video, comment down below, stay gold, because you are golden. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.